I don't have you ever had, and you probably have, but two-way players on the blue line like Hedden and Rowe. Can you recall like when you've had two guys like that who not only are great defensemen but can help you generate offense?
Well, we've won a lot of championships here. We've won 9 of them, and we won 5 in 6 years. And with the best year during that era being the 2009 team that knocked off the Michigan Wolverines, who had double-digit NHL draft choices. And on that team, we had Greg Flynn, who would be an All-American that year. We had Tim Kirby, who was a freshman but played in our top 4, who would be an eventual All-American. We had Scott Mathis, who was an all-conference player. So, you have to have some of that back there. Our 17 and 18 teams, we had a good mix of players back on the blue line. The bottom line is you have to have, in modern day hockey, you have to be able to generate offense from your defense. If you're just looking for your forwards to generate the majority of your offense, teams are going to collapse on your forwards and outnumber them 5 against 3. Those forwards, when they are under siege, have to be able to kick it back to defensemen that have the offensive side. I call them offensemen. Be able to kick it back to people that know what to do with it, that can get pucks through, that can make plays, and give my staff credit. Those are the kind of players that we recruit. We really believe that we can teach defense. If you're a good enough athlete and willing enough and tough enough, we can teach you the defensive side of the game. But the offensive side of the game is oftentimes God-given, and we're constantly looking for those types of players that have that God-given offensive front side.
Individually, let's start with Luke. Kind of what makes him special as a player on that back blue line?
Luke Rowe? Yes. Well, first of all, he's generally he's the biggest, baddest alpha on the ice on most nights. I mean, this guy, and he's an alpha in everything that he does. He wants to be the best, the toughest, the most determined. He wants to be the best student. He wants to be the best leader. He wants to be the best teammate. I mean, this is what this guy's all about. And, that's what makes him special. He's a guy that in every facet of his life, he is a mega overachiever in every facet of his life.
Same question, but for Chris.
With who?
Chris Hennon.
Well, Hedden's young, and he's a work in progress. And Hedden is a great example of what we're talking about, what we like to recruit. He is not a finished product defensively. He is getting better, and he's there, and he's a wonderful player for us. But he's had to grow up too quickly. He's been forced to play above his pay grade. He's a second semester sophomore who's logging the same ice that your seniors and juniors should be logging that ice. Somebody the same similar ilk of Rowe. So he's been forced to. Now he is a mega talent, and he is producing a lot of points. He generates a lot of offense. He's that multifaceted quarterback that we see in the NFL now that can kill you in a lot of different ways. He can pass. He can run. He's got deception. He's got all of those things. And we're still working with him on the defensive side of the game. Sometimes, when you recruit players like that, that's what they're good at. And we're trying to. He's an offenseman, and we need to become him. For him to become a little bit better defenseman, and he will. He'll learn. You can buy everything at Walmart except experience, and he's getting a lot of experience, and he's going to be a great player, as great as he is right now. Trust me, he's not a finished product. He's not even close to scratching his potential as a complete player.
Coach, another individual I wanted to touch on was junior Austin Schwartz. Last few home series, he always seems to be making plays for you guys, particularly with his speed. Doesn't always get the finish. What are you saying to him in the locker room to kind of help his development? I know he had the game-tying goal on his tape Saturday, but how do you see him developing, and what can you say about his play?
Well, he's pretty consistent in what he is. He's got NHL legs. And he's a sturdy, willing, tough kid. He's a great teammate. It's kind of funny you bring that up. After the game, all our coaches gathered in our dining hall, and one of the guys goes, "God, I wish Schwartzy could finish better." And I said, if Schwartzy could finish better, he'd be playing in the American League, maybe getting ready to be called up to the NHL. But, that's his deal. He has a little bit of a hard time finishing, but he gets chances, and he does so much more for us. He scores proficiently enough, but what he does with his legs on the forecheck, what he does on the penalty kill, his willingness to block shots, that young man. I call guys like that coaches, players. To be honest with you, I don't ever remember. He's a junior now. I don't even remember coaching him. I don't remember even saying anything to him on the bench. Like, he's just like, some guys just know how to play. They have their game, and they play. And he manages his game. He's aggressive. He's tough, but he doesn't get you in trouble. He knows how to manage his physicality. His legs just make so many things happen, and we happen to have a few guys that are of that ilk, Oliphant, Adams, Brown, and those guys, that speed up front enables us to tilt the ice, in games an awful lot.
Coach, what happened Saturday night defensively, would you say?
What happened Saturday? Well, I'll tell you, first and foremost, we weren't as good and as connected as we were on Friday. But let me tell you, the Canisius team that showed up on Saturday was not the Canisius team that didn't show up on Friday. Like, they came and played with a sense of urgency, desperation, whatever words whatever words you want to use. They came and they fought for their life on Saturday, and we got outworked in the first period, and actually we almost had a great gift being able to get out of that period 2-2 as a tribute to our players and their abilities. But Canisius worked hard, scored another goal with 30 seconds left, and we finished the period 3-2. And we did not deserve to be ahead. One of the things about our team, in all the things that I'm saying, and all the players in our group, our depth and our maturity, the one thing that no hockey team can allow to happen is you can't get outworked, you can't get outcompeted, and give Canisius credit. They got some good players, and they came out and they outworked us in that first period, and we end up chasing the scoreboard. And if you're chasing the scoreboard, if you're an inordinate amount of time, if you're chasing the scoreboard in games, chasing the scoreboard is losing hockey. You can come from behind every once in a while, but if you're being asked to come from behind too often, that's losing hockey. And but I want to say that we should have been a little bit more ready. If we're going to contend for a championship, we better be able to go out and take somebody's best punch in the first period, because that's the way it's going to be. And we didn't take their best punch very well in the first period of Saturday, and it ended up costing. We made a gallant comeback at the end. Schwartzy had the tying goal, Hugh, as you said on his tape, and but we were chasing the scoreboard. And sometimes it's going to go for you, sometimes it's going to go against you. And if you're doing it an inordinate amount of times, it's going to go against you more than it's going to go for you.
You got a month left of games. You feel good about your team at this point?
I do. I feel good about them, but we got some issues. We're a work in progress. Everybody's a work in progress this time of year. A couple of things. In the immediacy, we're going to Holy Cross, and we haven't won. That place has been really tough on us. We have, for whatever reason, it's a small cracker box rink, and we haven't won there for years, and that's been a thorn in our side. But we need to go in there and we need to go in and take their best punch in a rink that we haven't had success. And if we're legit, we need to go into there and we need to find a way to get some success. And then we need to bring that back home, and eventually we need to find a way to win 2 games on a weekend at home. We've won. We swept on the road at Bentley. We swept on the road at West Point. But our last 3 home series is we've won on Friday and lost on Saturday. I'm not real good at math, not as good as all these cadets are around here, but I'll tell you the secret formula. You want to get home ice, you want to get a home ice bye in the playoffs, you sweep at home and you split on the road. And we've been doing a little bit backwards. We need to go into – I love the matchup. We need to go in there. It's a tough challenge against a tough team. And in a building that we haven't had success, if we're legit, if we're the real deal – we need to go in and find a way to get it done at Holy Cross and then bring that momentum back here against one of the better teams in the league in Sacred Heart.